This summer, I went off on Trump. I was like, well, that's it. It was a good run, doing these big things.
As friends, we talk about stuff all the time. And then when it happened, I was like, do you know that you're not just texting me right now?
This is What a Joke
with Tom Papa and Fortune Feimster
on Netflix is a Joke Radio.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, how are you? I still have my Christmas decorations up. Hey, today is the feast day of the Christmas that never ends.
Does your family make you keep it up longer?
We did a lot of traveling, so we're doing something, I don't know, these kids, of course, it's like now it's like, Halloween, there's like 4 days. Now my wife has us doing another day of Christmas. I'm like, come on. What's going on? It's like they're gonna face reality and they're gonna be like, do I have to work 2 days in a row?
I know.
But my youngest did say, like, he's 9 and he's kind of at that age where he probably doesn't believe in Santa, but he's kind of like, just in case. So we were in Florida and he was like, Dad, do you think Santa put additional presents under the tree back home? And I'm like, no, I don't think he does that. But my wife had already told him that Santa does that. And I'm like, well, I guess I don't know Santa. Or he was just conning me. He's 37 years old.
With a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. What do you think Santa's up to?
And shifting gears between parent to comedian is not an easy segue. Do you know what I mean? So I usually wake up and I get them out the door and then I do my stuff. I don't do stuff during the day of a show. I wish I was one of those comedians. Do you guys do stuff? Do you?
Not a thing.
Not much.
No, like run around and go to museums and take in the sights. No.
It's very post-show. I'm a post-show guy. Post-show steakhouse is my thing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I'm hungry or not. I'm going to a steakhouse. It's weird how some cities you're like, if you have one show, you're like, hey, it's 9:00, and they're like, everything's closed. You're like, but this is Atlantic City.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, no, it's Saturday. We closed everything. You're like, 9? They're like, you can go to a club or a strip house or whatever. I don't even know I'm such a Puritan. I don't even know what a strip club's called. I call it a strip house.
Strip house. What time's that strip house close? Do they have steak?
What if this is the origin of the popularity of the term strip house? It all goes back to Netflix is a Joke Radio with Tom and it took off at that point.
That's the etymology.
My wife chose Hawaii because my wife loves the beach, and as you can see, so do I. I spent the entire time applying and reapplying sunscreen, which thankfully makes my skin whiter. What cruel bastard decided that the goo that protects pale people from the sun should also make them look like White Walkers? It's just cruel. They should offer other colors. Cool, there's one of the guys from Blue Man Group. I don't even know why sunscreen is white. What was the figure? Well, those pale people love ranch dressing, so let's keep it in their wheelhouse. Because I don't tan. I don't kind of tan. There's no medium rare for me. I either look like I've never been outside or I was just released from a burn unit. There's no in between. And I know people go to the beach to relax. People find the beach very relaxing. Not so much for me. It's like being allergic to bees and then for vacation becoming a beekeeper.
Jim, congratulations on Comedy Monster. You are a comedy monster. You just keep cranking out great special after great special. I don't know how you do it.
Thanks. Well, I'm just trying to get my dad to like me.
Aww.
And I don't know if it's working. He's been dead for 30 years. I haven't heard from him at all. No, thank you so much. I hope people watch it when you release a special. As we all know, you sit there and you're like, I hope they're watching it because I want to do another one, and
Yeah.
you occasionally look at that top 10 list and you're like, is there by chance, and it's not once. It's never, mine's never in the top 10.
It's like when you were doing clubs, like if you weren't selling a lot of tickets and they'd come into the green room and like, well, they're doing the ice sculpture contest this weekend. So
Right. Yeah. Well, it rained last Tuesday. People are probably fixing their gutters.
Right.
Yeah, it's always the third Saturday after Easter when people don't show up. We don't know what it is.
But I was thinking, because you are so prolific and you almost come out with one a year, and you started off talking about pretty current COVID anxiety and stuff. And it was like, if for somebody that only came out with a special like once every 4 years, you probably wouldn't make that choice. But that this is the one for this year, to hear your take on it was really great.
I had no expectation of even doing COVID material. I always imagined that people didn't want to hear about it. It got to a point where I was like, it worked during some of the pre-Delta, after Delta. And so I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
Unfortunately, the timing of it worked out perfectly because the Omicron was hitting when your special came out. And you have that great joke. I'm paraphrasing, but it's like a TV show that you thought was canceled and gets picked up on
Netflix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember when we thought the pandemic was over? Everyone was so happy. We did it! We probably looked so stupid. Everyone was patting themselves on the back. I'm just glad I could help out the sick by staying inside. It's not over? Well, I'm not going back in. Those sick people have to die. Because it's not over. The pandemic is like a TV show you thought was canceled, and then it got picked up by Netflix.
I don't know what adjectives you're given, Fortune, but like, I know that Tom and I get clean. And now the thing is like, the reality is, I used to say, oh, no one's going to see a show just because they're not hearing someone say fuck. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, we got to go. This guy doesn't say a curse word. It's like, it really comes down to funny. We might use more of a velvet hammer, but we're still making points. Like, point of view is very important. All comedians have to have some edge, or they would be newscasters. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it would just be
a presentation,
monologues. You know what I mean? And it's good to do comedy in different environments because you can get comfortable. Like, I'm sure you guys have faced this where you know, more in club stuff, but like, you'll do a weekend, you'll be like, I got this great bit, and then you come back to a city and you do it, and people are like, what are you talking about? You're like, oh, I'm sorry.
It's true.
I was getting a little lazy there. I thought the case of impression was a good idea. You know what I mean? We do learn from, like, when you first walk on stage, when you do stand-up, there's this brutality where you can see it in their eyes. They're like, oh, you, like, for me, you look like my boss that I hated.
Do you really get told you look like like babies?
Oh, I get baby photos. I get cat photos. I've gotten dozens of mostly cats, not dogs, just cats. And it's just kind of like a grumpy cat that is usually asking for food. And it's hilarious. Like, it's just white and furry, and it has a huge head. I did an episode of the Jim Gaffigan show all about it, where I flew in one guy from Chicago who looked like me, who was a stand-up comedian. And then there's like a barista in Seattle, I'm not kidding, who looks, he's younger and his beard is more red, but he looked exactly like me. It was scary. Aren't there people that look like you guys?
I get it a lot but it's usually like a picture of a dude, working at the airport that's got a huge beard. I'm like, he looks like me.
Yeah, no, it's never flattering.
I kept waiting for my Joe Christmas pajamas, and they never came.
I said, as soon as Tom responds to my text about when he would like his pajamas dropped off, we'll schedule. And I never heard from Tom.
I never got a when you want them dropped off.
I sent a picture.
Text. You sent a picture? It didn't say I'm coming over.
No, it was a group text with all of us on it.
Oh.
Did it say I'm coming to your house?
I said
no.
they've arrived, and you didn't even respond.
Oh, did any of us
What?
respond? Yeah, it looks like all of us didn't pay any attention to your pajamas.
Thank you, Fortune.
Yesterday you said you were going to bring them by, and I waited all day and night, and you never came.
The pajamas are actually right over there. I can go grab them right now.
Let's see the pajamas. Oh, I see pants.
Oh.
I see pants.
Whoa, that they do exist. Look at that.
I do wonder where my apology is for not being on said pajamas.
Oh.
True. Everyone should apologize right now.
I'm
Let's
I'm
apologize.
sorry to everyone.
I'm not sorry.
Ouch. All right. I got a delivery. I got my pajamas from Joe.
Oh yeah, they look good.
Oh, nice.
They look real good.
A little
It's kind of
snug.
tight.
Yeah, but I thought for Cynthia she might like that.
A little snuggy snug.
It's a little tight.
It's kind of short.
Yeah, I've noticed the shirt. I thought that might be a little bit of issue, but you're rocking it.
Am I?
I
Or
think it
just
looks real
unbutton
good.
it and let my chest out.
Yes.
That's
I
kind of
blame
weird.
you for just having all those muscles.
Yeah, thanks for calling it muscle.
Can I ask about this Christmas shirt?
Yeah, this is
You mean that tight Christmas pajamas?
It's really tight.
Mom,
Whoa!
why are you wearing those baby pajama?